introduce someone that I've always admired and loved, and because I'm a Seahawks fan, but it's my pleasure to introduce Mack Strong. As you all, most of you in this room know, Mack played for the Seattle Seahawks for 14 years as the greatest fullback ever, and it was only because of a neck injury that he had to leave the Seahawks. I'm sure he'd still be out there. When I looked at Mack's bio and information about Mack Strong, there were so many awards that it would take too much time, and I wouldn't leave enough time for Mack to talk to Lily list them all. I can only tell you that he has received so many awards in so many different directions, from so many different directions, that include not just coaches and players, but the NFL and in general, that it was just amazing. And the things that he was recognized for were not only his accomplishments on the field, but it was the things like leadership, service to others, ability to inspire on and off the field. I think that says a lot. I dare say he's probably one of the most respected NFL players ever to play the game, so it's quite an honor to introduce him. Following retirement, Mack and his wife Zoe, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, founded TeamWorks Academy, working to improve the lives of at-risk Native American youth with programs that help to develop strong minds, strong bodies, and strong character. In addition, Mack and Zoe have worked tirelessly on behalf of Child Haven. Child Haven, for those of you who aren't familiar, is committed, it's an organization that's committed to stopping the cycle of abuse and neglect of our children. And Mack and Zoe are both recognized for all of their work for Child Haven as well. Just recently, Mack was recognized as Washingtonian of the Year. The award was given in recognition of his leadership, selflessness, generosity, and compassion in service to others. And I think I would be neglectful if I didn't say you shared that honor with your wife, Zoe, as well. So I wanted to make sure we brought that up. When I asked Mack the other day if there was anything specific that he wanted me to say, in his bio, I thought it was really a humble response. He said, well, just tell them I've been happily married, I think for 14 years, and I have 2 wonderful sons. So that from a man who has done so much and has been such an inspiration in so many ways. And so with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Mack Strong.
You guys doing good this morning, afternoon, whatever it is, right? You guys give David Bassett another round of applause. It's not easy getting up here sharing some very personal things about your brother and then see a picture of him come up on all the screens. I started to cry a little bit over there, so I do have a few remarks here I want to make. I just turned 40 this year. I never thought that day would come. I remember being in school and I used to always see my teachers put their specs on it and have them down like this as they read. I'm like, man, that day will never come with me, and lo and behold, here I am. It is an honor to be here with you this afternoon as we celebrate the life of an extraordinary young man. And it's funny, a lot of people ask me, do I miss my playing days? Do I miss football? And I told him, I said, oh, really, only on 2 days. On Sundays, because there's no place like playing at CenturyLink. And the other day was payday. Just keeping it real. But we celebrate the life of an organization that bears the name of a young man that made a tremendous impact in the community. And I really appreciate just being asked to come and speak on behalf of the foundation and to somehow make a tie-in, because I usually don't accept offers to go and speak about foundations that I've never heard of. I had before, a month ago, I'd never heard of the Robert Bassett Foundation. It's good to get all this information. Oh, wow, boy, I tell you what, the sky's the limit for this particular foundation and the impact that it's going to have in the community. That's already had, and I know this is only the beginning. And Robert himself, I never met, never even heard of him, but As I did some research and as I listened to people, listened to his brother, as I went on the internet and I found more and more information, I found out that we have a lot more in common than what I thought. And I was like, okay, I can make a connection here. And I'd be really honored and proud to come and speak. One of the things we have in common is just our love for soccer. A lot of people don't know this, but I was a soccer player for about 7 years. I know you look at me and just think, Diego Maradona. But I love soccer, and I played for 7 years before I started playing football. I love basketball. Quick story here, I almost quit playing football my freshman year in high school because I love basketball so much. And my coach brought me in and said, look, if you want to go to college and have it paid for, you got a chance in football because you got some talent. But I've seen you play basketball, you got no chance. Also heard that Robert was a pretty good cook, so we have a love for food. He likes to cook, and I like to eat, as you can see as we're up here right now. You know, after all I've read and I've heard, this is what I perceive about Robert's life. They only gave me a few minutes here, so I got to get right into it. He lived his life with passion and compassion. And that's the title of my little remarks here. He lived his life with passion. Passion is defined as a strong feeling or desire for. I know Robert had a strong desire for sports. So much so that when he developed a staph infection in his knee, instead of quitting like he was given the opportunity to by so many doctors, told him the best thing you can do right now for your leg is to quit. He said, no, that's not what I'm going to do. I love what I do. I love sports. It's one of the things that help me come alive. It brings out the light in my life. And with that, he went through arduous, painful hours getting ready for matches. Being up late nights, taking medication, doing whatever he could to be able to compete in his sports activities. You know, Robert and I share a passion for sports. And we share that passion that helps you to overcome adversity, which he certainly did. In 1999, Mike Holmgren came here. It was his first year here. I just had 2 surgeries on my ankle, and it was a bad time to be injured when you have a coaching change, new regime coming in. He'd never seen me practice or play, and I never had a chance to even go through training camp. I ended up making a team still, and for the whole year, for an entire year, I limped every day. Practice, and even in games. And it was very, very painful. And there were many times that I would come home literally in tears, telling my wife, I don't think I can make it, because it is too painful. And yet, I found the strength and the passion for the game of football to continue to play. Well, the rest is history. I was able to heal up the next year, won my starting spot back, and ended up going to a Pro Bowl, a couple Pro Bowls and a Super Bowl, and had a career that I could only dream about. But I look at Robert's life, and I think, you know what, few people in life have the opportunity to live their life with passion. They don't have passion about anything. They don't have passion about school, they don't have passion about sports, they don't have passion about anything. But not Robert. His passion was contagious and inspiring. His passion has led to the event that you're a part of here this evening. He lived his life with compassion. Compassion is defined as a feeling of deep sympathy or sorrow for another who is stricken by misfortune, accompanied by a strong desire to alleviate the suffering. I find it very remarkable, almost unbelievable at times, that such a young man at such a young age would have such a compassion for the people around him. That he would have the ability and the wherewithal as a young man to look around at the world around him, in his community, in his school, to see others who were less fortunate, to see others who were suffering, and have compassion for them. To not to be one of those ones that see people in those situations and to walk by, but to actually get involved. Robert, from what I can tell, I never met that young man. Not a young man that stood on the sidelines. He got in the game. And his compassion helped him to make a difference. You know, in 2002, my wife and I started this Teamwork program. And it's a youth development after school program. And we primarily were working with Native American youth because my wife grew up part of the time on a reservation. She's half Native American. And at the time, we were looking at statistics at different Native Americans in the Northwest and seeing that some of the hopelessness that they had to deal with. A lot of the same stats that you saw at the Boys and Girls Club are here on the east side. Dropout rate, the infant mortality rate was 4 times any other demographic. They were failing. My wife and I said, we got to get involved in some kind of way. We started an after-school program. We didn't really know what we were doing. We said, we just want to get involved. We don't want to be on the sideline. We want to get involved. We went there and we said, okay, we got to come up with an inspiring name for this thing. We just can't call it, you know, after-school program. That's not inspiring. As a kid, I wouldn't want to be a part of something like that. So we put a little carrot out there for the kids. We was like, whoever comes up with a great, inspiring name for our organization, we'll get some tickets to go to the Seahawks game. So they were coming up with all kind of stuff. Strong after school bunch. It was like, no, that doesn't do it. Max gang, like, no, that's not inspiring. So it's got to be something that doesn't have me a part of it because it's bigger. This organization is bigger than me. It's bigger than any one person. It's got to be something that's really representative of who you are and what you want to be a part of in the community. There's one young man, his name is Gentry, he said, how about Teamworks? And all the adults, we all looked at each other, kind of scratched our head like, duh, that's really pretty obvious, right? And I asked Gentry, I said, why did you come up with that name? He said, well, you guys are coming down here, spending your time after, you know, taking time away from your own family to be with us and help us to be successful in life. And kind of like we're all part of a team and you guys are helping us out. I was like, that's pretty insightful. This young man's only 7 years old at the time. But as I thought about it a little bit more, I said, you know, there might be something a little bit deeper going on here. The reason why he came up with this name, Teamwork. And as I got to know Gentry a little bit more more about his background, I learned where he was living, where he was coming from. See, Gentry was one of 8 kids who were being parented by a single father. And they all lived out of a van. And I remember going downstairs as we were taking him to meet his dad, and I saw the van they lived in and all the kids inside of it. And it really inspired my wife and I, like, no, never again will we sit on the sidelines. Because there's a lot of people in need and hurt in our world today. And they need people who have compassion. They need people who are like Robert. It said that Robert extended himself to helping others, whether they were friends or strangers. They volunteered his time to help others who were less fortunate. You know, his compassion has led to the creation of this foundation that's determined to give every child a chance to succeed. What a remarkable young man. His parents, you should be very proud to raise such a wonderful individual and a great citizen. You guys are going to have an opportunity in just a minute to respond. You have the opportunity to respond and answer that age-old question. Can one person's life really make a difference? Yes, it can. If you're like Robert and you live your life with passion and compassion. Thank you very much.
Bottom of my heart and everyone's heart here, a huge thank you to Mack. When I first met him, I didn't think it was possible, but he's a big man. His heart is even bigger. And we're just so touched by your words today. Thank you.